The Houston Texans coming off one of their worst, heck, the worst pass blocking performance of the season against the Green Bay Packers. CJ Stroud and the passing offense couldn't get anything going consistently in this game because of the constant pressure that the offensive line, the running backs, and the tight ends allowed in that game. Almost every third down had a pressure on it. Almost 50% of the total dropbacks were a pressure allowed by the offensive line and the rest of the blockers in there. Monday, DeMeco Ryan said this team's got to be much better. They've got to fix the issues with the offensive line and the blocking. He said everything's on the table when it comes to fixing it. Maybe even changes in personnel, changes in the offensive line, in maybe the way that they operate. And then Wednesday, he was pretty optimistic about what the Texans' offensive line would be able to accomplish this week against the Indianapolis Colts. And he felt like his team was on the right track.
But we're all in this together, and we'll be fine. I know everybody has questions on the offensive line. Of course, it wasn't a great outing. Hey, we move on. How do you show up this week? That's what it's all about, man. You show up, have a bad day, it happens. How do you respond to have a better day the next outing? So I'm looking forward to seeing our guys play this week.
Now, I simultaneously like the confidence that DeMeco Ryan shows in his guys while also realizing that one day of practice doesn't solve anything for this Texans team. The words, yeah, they are important until it's action time on Sunday against the Indianapolis Colts, a team that, while they allowed the offensive line to get going in the rushing attack, I thought yet again was another performance this season where the Texans didn't pass block very well. That first matchup in week 1 against the Indianapolis Colts. And DeMeco Ryan's kind of basically saying, hey, it was a bad day at the office. It happens. Tytus Howard echoed those sentiments as well.
Oh, man, just be on the details. So the little things. All the stuff they did, man, we've seen it before. We've seen it at practice. It's just when you get out there in the game, you get on the road, we just can't do stuff that we haven't been coached to do. So that's the thing. We went out there and did stuff that we haven't been doing. So that's really just being coachable, being detailed, staying in the moment, man, and just trusting each other. That's the biggest thing we got to do. Continue to trust each other, pick each other up when we're down, and just keep balling, man. Because I mean, it's gonna be ups and downs and stuff like this, but we got to stay together. And we're gonna get it right this week. Go out there and ball out. And once we get the ball out, I mean, all the other stuff will take care of itself.
So DeMeco Ryan says things are going to be fixed. Tytus Howard says that they're going to get it going and be balling on Sunday. Howard would also say after that it was uncharacteristic what happened on Sunday against the Green Bay Packers. The tough part about that is unfortunately that is characteristic of the Texans when it comes to pressure this season. They're 6th in quarterback pressure allowed this year. They're 4th in sacks allowed, and they're 4th in total quarterback pressures allowed. They've only had 2 games where they haven't been in the top 10 for pressures allowed over the course of the season. So that is characteristic of what the offensive line has been doing. That's probably the scariest part of the rhetoric from the Texans is that, hey, that's not really who we are. That's not what we do, when that has been who they are and what they do. A moment for my friends at Prize Picks. Play your first 5, get $50 thanks to Prize Picks when you use my code STOOTS, STOOTS, at the link in the description down below. Or when you sign up at Prize Picks, just use STOOTS. You play your first 5, you get $50 on Prize Picks. Let's put a Prize Picks entry together, show you how easy it is. The best way to play daily fantasy with my friends at Prize Picks. Let's work on some Thursday night football. Let's go to the rushing and receiving touchdowns. We're going to put some predicted stats together. You know the big fella, Justin Jefferson. He's getting into the end zone. And I like Cooper Kupp to get into the end zone as well. They might want to trade him. They're going to showcase him a little bit. $10 wins us 35 if Justin Jefferson and Cooper Kupp score a touchdown. That's how easy it is. There's so many different stats that you can predict, and you're just going more or less on those stats. Passing yards, receiving yards, rushing yards, passing and rushing yards, rush attempts. They even got sacks, interceptions as the weekend gets close. We'll put together a Texans and Colts entry as well, but it's that easy. Play for a $5, get $50 on Prize Picks, use the code STOOTS, have some fun, and give yourself a chance to win some money and make the games even more interesting with my friends at Prize Picks. Now, why those issues have popped up for the Texans, DeMeco Ryans was asked a very good question. Hey, it's a week. You've got 3 practice days. One's already in the books. Can the Texans fix what they need to fix on the offensive line in that week's time? And DeMeco Ryans, again, with confidence that his guys would have it going.
All of it is fixable, and that's the encouraging part about it. All of it is fixable. Our guys have picked up these stunts and different things that we've seen. Our guys have picked it up before, so I'm encouraged, right, to see how our guys respond this week. We'll see similar things, right? Whenever one team does something on tape, you have to get ready and prepare for the next week because teams will see, like, have you put the fire out? So it's a great opportunity to see us go put the fire out this week. It's a tough challenge versus this defensive line. They do a great job of executing their stunts really well. So we know, we'll have our hands full again this week.
Now, as Ryan says that, it's worth noting that on Wednesday, in the open portion of practice that the media is allowed to watch, the Texans presented an offensive line with no changes. Now, I've been a fan of the Christmas light theory. The offensive line's maybe not working because of one player. Kenyon Green has poorly performed since week 1 when he actually had his best game of the season. Maybe swapping Kenyon Green out for Kendrick Green would make the offensive line work a little bit better, a la the Christmas lights. When one doesn't work, you plug in the new one. Hey, that was the issue. The whole string of lights works. Maybe the whole string of the offensive line would work with a swap out. That was not the case, again, in the open portion of practice. Now, they could switch it up in the non-open portion of practice and have somebody else in there have changes to the offensive line. But if the Texans are indeed going to put out the same offensive line, or even if they put the offensive line out there with one change in the lineup, it's got to be much better. And if it's not better, then we will know. We will have confirmation that this is going to be a year-long issue with this Texans team. It will affect the way that they can operate through the air, and it will affect the ability to maximize what they have on offense. If they cannot consistently pass block, they cannot utilize the 3 wide receivers that we all thought so highly of coming into this season. They will not be able to tap into Dalton Schultz as that safety valve because they're going to have him in blocking a whole lot more than they need to. They're not going to be able to tap into the ability to throw Joe Mixon the football because they're going to need pass blocking from the running backs to help out on the situation. They've got to pass protect. And yes, they stick with the same offensive line and go out there and get it going. Awesome. They're on the right track. They'll need to stack days before any of us have confidence that they're going in the correct direction. If they go out there and they don't make changes, or even if they make a small change and it still doesn't look good, confirmation that it's going to be a year-long issue. And it would also show that the words or the motivations or the tactics or whatever the Texans try this week ahead of the matchup with the Indianapolis Colts didn't work on this offensive line group. And then you've got a bigger picture problem. Why is it not working? Is it the scheme? Is it the offensive line coaching? Is it Bobby Slowick? Is it just the give a crap meter for these offensive linemen? Or the scary part that you would find out ultimately is the talent is just much lower for all 5 of these guys than expected headed into the season. And if that's the case, well, you can't fix that in the middle of 2024. That'll be a 2025 offseason conversation in figuring out how to juggle the various things that you would need to change to improve this offensive line. I like the confidence. The rhetoric is a little scary in that, hey, that was a one-off. That's not who we are. We've had games where we've passed for over 300 yards. I get that, but the consistency has not been there in the pass blocking more often than not with this team. It's got to be there on Sunday, and then it's got to be there on the following Thursday, and then it's got to be there after the mini bye on Sunday Night Football against the Detroit Lions when they come to town. They've got to get this offensive line squared away, and they've got to be able to pass block to go anywhere close to where they wanted to go this season, which is where a Texans team has never gone, the AFC Championship game, and ultimately New Orleans, Louisiana for the Super Bowl. What say you? You believe in the confidence that DeMeco Ryans and Tytus Howard showcased about this offensive line, or do you have an intense amount of skepticism like I do for this offensive line come Sunday when the Colts are in town? Let me know in the comment section down below. On your way down there, don't forget to throw me a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You get an exclusive viewer price on year-round air conditioning maintenance from my friends at Platinum AC and Heating. All you got to do is give them a call today, 832-777-3683. Tell my guy Dwyane that you heard about him here on the YouTube channel, and you're going to get an exclusive price on year-round preventative maintenance from Platinum AC and Heating. It will make sure your AC is always running its most efficiently, and that will save you money in the long run. And, of course, you're saving money because you get the exclusive viewer price as well. Don't forget to sign up for Prize Picks. Hey, we put together a Thursday night football entry that we could have a little fun with. We'll put together a Texans-Colts entry or two before the week is over as well. So don't miss out on the Prize Picks offer. Play your first 5, get $50 from Prize Picks. That link is in the description down below. Appreciate you watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope this offensive line has less holes in it on Sunday than my current beard situation does. And I can't wait until we talk Texans again soon.